Aethon Minerals is a Chilean-focused explorer and prospect generator. It's the outgrowth of private exploration efforts undertaken in Chile over the last 10 years by an old favorite of ours, Altius Minerals, backing a new generation team in a province, a geological province, Chile, that we like more than any other mining region in the world, and being able to do so in partnership with Altius, who we have done business with over the last 20 years, is a special treat. The Altius team have delivered exploration results around the world, and we're very excited to partner with them, looking primarily for copper, but also for gold and silver in Chile, which again we view as the single finest country for mineral exploration and production in the world. Alicanto Minerals is an Australian-listed company exploring for gold in partnership with one of the world's largest gold mining companies, Barrick. The exploration activities take place in a little-known country in South America called Guyana, which is located conveniently on the Guiana Shield, one of the world's very large but very underexplored gold terrains. These Archean terrains have a way of generating very, very large deposits. As an example, the Canadian Shield is an Archean terrain which has produced about 150 million ounces. The West African gold belts are all Archean-hosted terrain. And the northern coast of South America is probably the last great unexplored Archean terrain in the world. The company has enjoyed initial success, as I say, enough success to interest one of the world's largest gold mining companies, Barrick Gold. Alta Strategies is a multi-country, Africa-focused prospect generator. The management team, including the chairman, David Netherway, have delivered 2 prior successes to us, that is, exploration discoveries that resulted in company takeovers. The company is involved in highly prospective but frontier market terrains and is in effect a pan-African prospect generator. This is a team that we have known for a long time. More importantly, the industry has known them for a long time too. The very high-quality joint venture partners that they've been able to attract over the last 20 years is great testimony to the high regard that the industry has for this high-quality exploration team. Amerigo Resources is a Chile-focused copper producer. Interestingly, what they produce are the tails associated with one of the world's great copper mines, El Teniente. An example of how great this deposit is that the remaining copper in the tails at El Teniente, after primary extraction, exceeds all the copper ever produced and still held in reserve at Highland Valley, the biggest copper mine in Canada. With copper prices relatively high and energy costs relatively low, we see Amerigo Resources being in a sweet spot right now with regards to cash generation, and view them as a probable consolidator of small Chilean copper mining operations. Aurania Resources is an Ecuador-focused exploration company headed by the legendary Keith Barron, the man who led the team that discovered the great Fruta del Norte gold deposit now being put into production by Lundin Gold in Ecuador. The region of Ecuador, Zamora, on the Ecuador-Peruvian border, has hosted very large-scale artisanal mining production for years and years, but has never been systematically explored by a team of the quality that Aurania has put together today. Avasoro Resources is a low-cost, high-quality gold producer in West Africa. The company is noted for their ability to bring difficult construction projects in ahead of time and under budget, and operate them very efficiently in markets like Liberia that are traditionally regarded in the mining industry as challenging, but also markets that everyone knows are very underexplored and very prospective for additional discoveries. Canasil Resources is an exploration company and prospect generator focused primarily on silver discoveries in the central Mexican silver belt, a highly prospective area. The team has a very well-regarded exploration team and already has 1 indicated discovery on their belt, with several more prospects out looking for joint venture partners to join them. Chicana Copper has really excited the exploration markets in the last 6 months with very, very high-grade copper mineralization in Peru. While the project has been around for a long time, it was originally explored by other people looking at the porphyry potential. Chicana seems to have unlocked a different exploration target, although we continue to believe that the porphyry outlook, the porphyry prospectiveness with regard to the project is exciting too. The possibility exists that an initial high-grade operation could be brought into production, and the cash flow from that high-grade production could be used to develop the larger but lower-grade porphyry potential in the district. David Hall Rare Coins is represented here by Van Simmons, a longtime friend of Sprott. Van is a serial collector. He knows everything that needs to be known about coins, but he can also tell you about almost any other kind of collectible in the world. A longtime personal friend and an exhibitor at this conference for at least 20 years. If you have any coin questions, Van is a great place to start. Evrim Resources is a prospect generator focused on Mexico. The company recently really excited the market with early stage but high grade surface oxidized gold deposit, amazingly located only about 12 or 13 kilometers from the port and resort town of Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Our feeling was that a discovery was only a matter of time for this group, given the very high quality of explorationists that are employed by the company. It's wonderful to see nice guys finish first. Exelon Resources is a silver and zinc producer in Mexico. They have enjoyed recent success upgrading a deposit, basically recapitalizing a project, and they've delivered several quarters of excellent and improving earnings. In an upcoming silver bull market, which something we believe is going to occur, Exelon has both the deposit but also the constituency, the shareholder constituency, to do very well. Lara Exploration is a prospect generator focused in South America, primarily Peru and Brazil. Led by Miles Thompson, who has been a long-time friend of Sprott. This is the management team that brought us Reservoir Minerals, the fantastic prospect generator in Southern Europe that discovered the Timok deposit, now the subject of a takeover battle between Nevsun and Lundin Mining. We have known Miles and his team for a very long time and are confident that they will give us another discovery in this cycle. Lee Gold Mining is an emerging mid-tier gold producer with current operations focused in Mexico. This is the team that was behind the original Endeavor mining success in Africa. Their strategy has been to acquire mines and improve their operation, and also, of course, increase their market capitalization and liquidity. They've done it before. We believe they'll do it again. Maple Gold Mines is a Canadian-focused exploration and development team backed by very powerful Japanese interests. We have known the Maple team through various incarnations and have enjoyed success with them in the past, and we look forward to continuing to fund their exploration in Canada's legendary goldfields. Metanor Resources is an emerging gold producer in Quebec, rated by the Fraser Institute as one of the top mining jurisdictions in the world. We certainly know the history of the Abitibi Gold Belt, which has been a major producer in both Ontario and Quebec, and Metanor carries on a fine tradition of Quebec gold exploration and production. Midland Exploration is a prospect generator active throughout the province of Quebec and, importantly, backed by the Quebec political and economic establishment, what we laughingly call Quebec Inc. This official sector support gives the company financial stability as well as great access to terrain. In addition, the company is known for landmark First Nations agreements in Quebec. Millrock Resources is a prospect generator that has acted across the continent in many aspects for many years. A very highly regarded technical and commercial team lead this microcap prospect generator. Predictive Discovery is an Australian listed and domiciled company that is active as a prospect generator throughout several political jurisdictions in Africa. The technical team has long experience in West Africa, and we believe that the stock is unduly cheap due to the fact that while listed in Australia, it's active in Africa. Regulus Resources is an explorer and developer focused in the nation of Peru. The team has been serially successful in the past in the Andes, both in Peru and in Argentina. John Black is particularly well regarded among locals in Peru and also, of course, by the Canadian mining financial establishment. Renaissance Gold is a prospect generator active in the state of Nevada, where its management team has in turn been active for 40 or 45 years. This is the same management team that was responsible for the success of AUEX, a prior prospect generator that developed a project in eastern Nevada that was ultimately purchased by Goldcorp for an amount of money in excess of $1 billion. We are hoping, of course, in this case, that passed its prologue. Riverside Resources is a prospect generator that seems to operate really throughout the Cordilleran, from northern British Columbia all the way through southern Mexico. Run by Jean-Marc Stouty, who is a friend of Sprott's and also a personal friend of mine. This is a spectacular amalgam of intellectual capital in a micro-cap company, highly regarded, with partners from amongst the major mining companies in the world. Roxgold is a highly successful gold mine developer and operator that is enjoying really spectacular success in a mine called Yaramoko, which is in Burkina Faso in West Africa. This is a team that was able to develop the mine on budget and we believe slightly ahead of schedule. And it's a mine that's operating up to its mining parameters. In other words, every surprise that the company has yielded has been a good surprise. The Rutzenmeyer-Belmont Group are a commodities-centric firm, that is, commodities dealers and brokers, offering retail investors the opportunity to participate in advanced speculative commodities strategies. They are old friends of this conference, having exhibited here virtually since its inception. Sabina Gold and Silver are attempting to bring a very high-grade gold and silver deposit in northern Canada into production. While the relatively remote location of this deposit has worked against it, the extraordinarily high grade and the potential for very large additional finds has worked for it. Bruce McLeod and his team have done a great job crafting First Nations agreements and moving through the labyrinth of Canadian permitting obstacles. Sprott looks forward to assisting Bruce and his team in financing this deposit and developing a relationship that we believe could last decades. Sun Metals is an odd exhibitor for us. They are a zinc smelter and processor active in Australia. Their products are zinc and zinc-related products as well as smelter assets. They bring to us access to zinc technology, exposure to a zinc bull market, and of course exposure to the Australian mineral resources equity markets, which we believe are the most attractive in the world. TerraX Resources is exploring on the Yellowknife Gold Belt, historically the highest grade gold belt in Canada. For those who don't know, this is in the Northwest Territories of Canada. It's a gold belt that has a long and distinguished history, and TerraX has what we believe is the largest group of land concessions ever assembled on that belt. Transition Metals is a prospect generator active in Ontario, Quebec, and in northern Canada, in Nunavut and the Northwest Territories. They are particularly active in exploring for nickel and platinum group minerals in the Canadian Shield, a micro-cap company that we think deserves every speculator's attention, but particularly those who are interested, as I am, in the prospect generator space. Wheaton Precious Metals is one of the premier streaming and royalty companies in the world. Starting off as Wheaton Silver, Wheaton Precious Metals has changed its name to reflect the increasing importance of gold in its portfolio. Randy Smallwood, the founder and CEO of Wheaton Precious Metals, in addition to being a personal friend of mine, has been an amazing contributor to many aspects of the mining business, and we're delighted to have him and Wheaton Precious with us here at the conference. The World Platinum Investment Council joins us this year for the first time as a sponsor or co-sponsor with us of the Platinum Breakfast. We believe that this organization knows more about platinum markets than any other single organization in the world, and we are delighted that they have chosen to join us to provide informational sessions for our clients on this under-owned and unloved sector, a sector that we find particularly attractive. We're delighted to welcome back to the Sprott Conference SSR Mining. In a prior incarnation, Silver Standard was a sponsor of this conference for many, many years, and many of the repeat attendees in this conference own SSR Mining as a consequence of having owned Silver Standard Resources. The company has gone from being an explorer and developer now to being a multi-mine operator throughout the Americas. We're pleased to welcome back SSR Mining.